We are live. It is the draft season podcast. It is your boy, Young Raz. We are back for another episode. Today we are talking that Western Conference pack over unders. Who's gonna be better? Who's gonna be a worse? Who can you put your money on? I'm coming live from where I often do, Queens, New York. I got my player partner with me, Sean 5K. Talk to him.
You already know, man. It's good to be back. You know what I'm saying? We got this part two for you guys on the over under episode. Western Conference. You know what I'm saying? The West is going to be interesting this year because you know what I'm saying. I think everybody knows who the contenders are, but you know what I'm saying. I think all of these teams are in interesting spots. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely going to be something. We're gonna get into that in a second. But you know, before that, we do got to get into this ad read. So you already know if you're tired of the same old takes from the same old people, you know what I'm saying, looking to add some humor, culture, and energy to your daily grind, your search just might be over. At Rise Network, we are a global multimedia platform for the best and most diverse voices in sports, entertainment, and pop culture. Podcast streams, article reviews, you name it, we do it. Visit us at risenetwork.us on all social media platforms for more info. So what are you waiting for? Come and rise up with us. Shout out to all our good homies on that side. So yeah, man, like I said, Raz, we could get into the show already. Get the people what they waiting for. So I mean, let's just get into it. So what team started with today, bro?
We can start with the New Orleans Pelicans. Fan favorite on this show. David Griffin running that same old scam he been running for quite some time. That pack is dry. If you are on that, that is laced with fentanyl, reported to the authorities. David Griffin is a fraud. But yeah, I mean, looking at them, they drafted Trey Murphy the third. Fan of that. Herb Jones at number 35. Free agency. I don't even want to talk about their free agency realistically. I don't know if it's worth it. They let some notable players go, but let's get into the acquisition. Still trade. They got Jonas Valanciunas. They got Thomas Sanderaski, Garrett Temple, and Devontae Graham in signing trades. They lost Steven Adams, Bledsoe, Lonzo Ball, James Johnson, and Wes Iwundu. Now, I'll say this right here. Anytime that you can lose your young point guard, um, trade assets to lose said young point guard, and then sign a worse point guard. He's not even a point guard. He's a small shooting guard. I think you have to do it. And that's what David Griffin absolutely went and did.
Yes, it's funny because we talk about this a lot. The Pelicans are basically just, you know what I'm saying, shout out to the Benson family. They're basically just attacked right off for the Saints. They're basically just the Saints minor league team over there. So, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see just how this core develops. We have been very critical of David Griffin and what he's done in the past. You know, I think the elephant in the room is Zion's health. I would probably start there. I think he has the foot injury right now, the fifth metatarsal, and you know it's another year, another injury for Zion, which is like I think we could just start here. Like as somebody who I'm not concerned about Zion's skill at all. I think what I'm saying, when he's been on the court, he's been explosive. He's been unstoppable in the paint. You literally cannot stop him from getting downhill. You can't stop him from finishing around the basket. But as a Pelicans fan or just an observer of the league, if you had to say like on a scale of 1 to 10, just in general, what would your sense of concern just with Zion's health? You know what I'm saying? We talk about the frame, we talk about the health on that frame. Like
Yeah.
this is I don't want to ring the alarm on this, but it's something you got to keep in the back of mind. So like what would your level of concern be for Zion though on that?
I say right now I'm at about a 7. Scale of 1 to 10. I mean, the rookie year we saw it happen. And then these foot injuries on big men are just something that in the past have proven to be very detrimental to their growth and their just availability. Like, and I think, as talented as he is and as talented as some of these bigs are, availability does become an issue when you're dealing with bad wheels. And for someone who's so explosive and who has the ability to live above the rim, he puts a lot of pressure on his lower extremities just with his balance, his rebounding. I mean, I think obviously science is much better than the the doctors we had back in the day. An ACL used to be a death sentence. Now guys are back 9 months realistically if they're forcing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, some of this surgery we can look into the medical staffs and say that he's in much better hands than big men of late, but he's also a freak of nature, right? So we don't know what the type of torque and the type of just raw athleticism that he might lose with something like this, and he'll still be an above average athlete, but will he be able to translate to losing that athleticism?
Yeah, like that's just the biggest concern for me. Like I said, we I hope Zion's good. Hopefully, I don't know if like it's you know what I'm saying, dropping a couple pounds on that frame or what the optimal weight for Zion to really play at, so he's not like putting too much stress on just like what I'm saying, just those bones and with his athletic gifts that he has. So what I'm saying, just first things first, like I said, just shouts out to Zion and his health, because that kid's a talent, and we like, just for the sake of the league going forward, to see what he actually looks like in his prime.
We're gonna
Like, we
need to
just
see
got
that
hope.
in Vegas, man. We're gonna need to see that in
Yeah.
Vegas when they move the Pelicans to Vegas, bro.
Or Seattle,
Like
wherever
that's
they
yeah,
go.
that's gonna be. I would love to see Seattle get a team again, but moving a team to Vegas, man. What can you do else to make Vegas good, man? We just get a nice team there. I might that might be I
Underrated
might
sports
be
city.
bi-coastal, quote unquote, even though they're not on the coast. I'll be there. I'll be in the West. I'll be in the
Yeah,
Pacific time zone for
Vegas is
sure.
definitely an underrated sports city. But yeah, Valanciunas, huge upgrade for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Noted Brandon Ingram stand, probably one of the highest saying people that you'll find on Brandon Ingram. That guy's a baller. But this team is still just missing pieces. What's the over under for this
Is
team?
we have it at 38.5.
That's high, man. That seems a little high, especially with Zion starting off. He's probably gonna miss at least. It feels like at least the first couple weeks in the season. So, I probably shades towards under on that. We haven't really talked about a couple guys who's gonna be huge just for this team in particular. Kira Lewis Jr. and Nikhil Alexander Walker. Those two
Yeah.
guys taking a step on defense. I mean, on just in taking a step with their overall games is going to be huge for them hitting that number. But I still think they're missing a little bit of defense. The Zion Valanciunas front court probably lacking a little bit of what I'm saying, just a little bit of mobility. So we still want to. I think Zion's going to be a fine defender going forward, but it's going to be interesting because he probably could even run out a lot more Ingram at the four. But yeah, I'm taking the under on this team. How about you?
Yeah, I mean under is the way to go, I think. Too many factors that are detracting against their success. Zion not at full strength. David Griffin, of course. They're like fifth coach in like 2 years. Put that into perspective as well. And I don't believe they got better with any of their acquisitions. So I think it's a stagnant team that's going to be missing their best player for a bit and another new system that they have to learn. So I'm going under. Yeah, we can jump into the next squad. We'll go with the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray, noted, still hurt, but we can go into some of the acquisitions from
47 and a half is the Nuggets number.
yeah, 47.5 is that number. But you got Bones Highland that they drafted. I like him out of college. Real big shot maker there. I think it's somebody's gonna be able to add, somebody who can catch and shoot around somebody like Jokic, who will always make the right play, sometimes to a fault when they probably need him to go get a bucket. They re-signed Will to throw Barton, Jermichael Green re-signed. Um, they added Jeff Green, and obviously Austin Rivers is now in the fold a little bit longer term. They lost JaVale McGee and Paul Millsap. So I mean, this team is about the same as they were last year. I mean, I think obviously Jeff Green might provide a little bit more of an upgrade than Paul Millsap was able to, just in terms of his versatility. I'm not saying like he's miles or light years of a better player than Paul Millsap, but I just think he offers them another look. He can shoot it a little bit better, and he can play make a little bit better than Paul Millsap, and I think he won't have an issue fitting next to somebody like Jokic. It just depends to be seen when Jamal Murray is back. I mean, he got hurt at a meaningless point in the game late in the season last year, so I need to know. We'll need to see what type of load Jokic can carry in the regular season. I think in the regular season he'll be fine to carry that load. Until Jamal Murray's back. It's just the playoffs where it might get tricky.
We can start here because I think like I was just prepping for this earlier, just going through my head. I'm like, Jokic has the eighth highest MVP odds right now at plus 1,600. Like what? like did we not?
I gotta put some money on that.
Like yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like Jokic repeating as MVP. It's not necessarily the wildest thing. We especially in the regular season, like we said, the problems with Jokic. That's really something that only the best teams in the league can really capitalize on. And we saw what he was able to do in the regular season last year. And touching on, I know I caught the Nuggets preseason game against the Wolves a couple days ago, and yeah, man, Bones Hyland looked like he was ready. I know we were extremely high on that kid coming out, and if you just watch the skill set he has, a ready-made creation and being able to get his own bucket. But his feel for the game is also really high for one of these guys. I think when you talk about these guys who are going on to get buckets, there's guys who get buckets and then don't have a feel for the game, but that's not really Bones. I do think he understands. I think he'll be able to play, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if, considering the role he's going to have to play for this team going into this year, I wouldn't be surprised if he made an all rookie first or second team. Considering that, what I'm saying, I don't think it's going to take long before they're going to realize that like he can give them more than a Austin Rivers can, and even what I'm saying, I think I love Facu, but even Monte Morris, those guys are really good actual guards when it comes to facilitating. But it's going to be a lot, especially just hoping on. A lot riding on Will Barton's health. He's gonna have to stay healthy. He's gonna be super important for them. But yeah, man, I could see Bones definitely stepping into a pretty important role for this team. MPJ, man, he got the first team all anti-vax, obviously.
It's a very talented roster. A few buckets on that squad. I mean, Wiggins, who he caved, but if you got MPJ, Wiggins, Kyrie,
who else is on
there's
that
a
team?
lot of buckets right there. I mean, you might not win no games. You're not gonna play a lick of defense, but
Bron been pretty quiet on this vaccine front. I'm pretty sure he hasn't gotten vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? They probably keeping that under wraps so nobody got to talk about that. But yeah, moving on. What would this, what I'm saying? He's coming off this extension. Was this year 4 for MPJ? What does the MPJ breakout look like to you? Or what do you think when we talk about him getting to that value for that contract? And I've seen people throw out $200 million. But I think with, incentives and basically injury actually like flyers in the actual contract, it was a little lower than that. But for him to hit that contract, and with Murray being out, what are you expecting from MPJ, and what does that next breakout look like from him when it looks like adding to the skill set to his game?
Yeah, last year he averaged like 19 and 7, I believe. I think he shot above 50% from the field. For someone who doesn't live by the basket, that's incredible, right? Like I think he has a ridiculous feel. Like he's a scorer. Like we knew he was a scorer. That's not an issue. But like he shot like 44% from 3 last year, right? Like obviously playing with Jokic makes that like I don't. can he get better? Can he get better at the 3-point shot and become more efficient? Like that, that's scary to me, right? And as he steps into that number two option, where I think what it comes down to for him is he's gonna have to make himself playable in some of these situations in terms, especially on the defensive end. Like, right, he's somebody who teams attacked on the defensive side. I think he needs to become passable on that end to take the next step. And he hasn't never met a shot he doesn't like. And I think turning into a tertiary, what's the word for fourth? I don't even know. What's the word there?
I don't.
No shot. No shot,
Forthcoming.
right? Yeah.
Forthcoming. Shout out to ASAP Ferg.
He said it's forthcoming. It's only my second. Yeah, that's a ridiculous time. Yeah, I mean, if he could average more than one assist a game, get up to three, get up to four.
I wouldn't count on it.
I'm not.
I wouldn't
I'm
count
not
on
counting. I'm not counting on it. But get to a point where you could, like, they can play you for something else other than the fucking shot. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, I think that's where he takes the next step.
Yeah, I think I think a full season of Aaron Gordon will definitely help MPJ just on hiding him a little bit on defense, not having to take some of the more dangerous wing threats that Denver is going to be going up against. So I think that's where a lot of Aaron Gordon's value is going to be coming from. Another guy we just talked about how good Denver is at developing their guys. PJ Dozier, another kid that they missed on the second half, or basically coming into the playoffs. But another person who I would expect to take another leap and become a rotation asset for this team. So man, I think this team, Jokic is the engine, and they just have enough. What I'm saying, I think Jokic is, like I said, I'm just not betting against Jokic at this point. We've seen enough. So
And he has that one thing that we talk about with bigs. He is available. Like, I think he's very available. So I think he's worked himself into much better shape too. Everybody thought that him losing the weight would be bad for him, like he wouldn't be able to bully people and do what he does, man. He wrestles bears in the off season. He's fine. You see who his brothers are. I think his workout regimen is just fine.
yeah, so we're both taking the over on
Yeah, for sure. Hold on, hold on,
on
hold
the
on, hold on,
Nuggets.
hold on, hold on. Let me confirm real quick before the over. Let's reiterate that number
It's
after we just did a
47 and a
bunch of
half.
11, 47 and a half. So are the Nuggets a 50-win team? Yeah, yeah, let's do it. 50. I'm
I'm
over.
not. Yeah, like I said, I think health is the only thing that would stop that. I think Jokic. I think like this team isn't void of talent. You know what I'm saying? I think Jokic is just so good that he puts everybody in the right role they're supposed to be. So
Yeah, for sure.
now, when I think Murray's supposed to come back, maybe let's say around like March probably. And we'll see how he affects them. But yeah, I'm banging the over on that. Next team on the docket for us, we have the Dallas Mavericks at 48 and a half wins. Recapping their offseason real quick. They did re-sign Tim Hardaway Jr. They also did re-sign Boban. They brought in Sterling Brown. They brought in Reggie Bullock. Picked up Moses Brown from OKC via the Celtics. And they did lose Josh Richardson.
Hold on. They
Um,
they they signed they signed the god Frank Ntilikina, Nick
they
Legend.
did they did bring in Frank Nitty the God, Frank Ntilikina. And yeah, they also what I'm saying, they got rid of longtime coach Rick Carlisle and they replaced him with the lunatic, also known as Jason Kidd. So yeah, man. Just looking at this team, it's real interesting to see. You got the star. You know what I'm saying? You probably have the number one player that most executives would what I'm saying, kill somebody for to make sure that they have or make a deal with the devil to have a talent like Luka Doncic on their team. So you got the star, you got the big piece right there. I'm expecting a bounce back season to some extent from KP. I think, you know what I'm saying, another, a healthy offseason, another year removed from the injury stuff. I don't expect him, you know what I'm saying, to look like how he looked originally on the Knicks. High flying, just dunking on everybody, putbacks, all that. But I do think he should have a better season. But yeah, just looking at the rest of the team, obviously, they still got Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Moxie Claver, and also Powell. So what did, like, in general, because this is a really good team. Luka, obviously, dragging a squad like this is gonna bring him into, what I'm saying, that MVP, what I'm saying, short conversation. But from your eyes, this squad is still missing something. So, like, what I'm saying, like without looking at the cap sheets, without looking at like who's available, what do you think this team is honestly missing so they could become a true contender?
I I don't know. Like it's you look at them and they're trying to obviously build around Luca, um, in a way that complements him. And I think, that may have, I hate to say it, like I don't, because Luca's ridiculous. He's a top. What do we have him at? Is he top five in the league? I don't.
Top
Top
10,
eight, top eight,
top
top eight.
10,
Let's go
top
top
10.
eight. Yeah.
Humble
Um.
top 10.
Yeah, top 10 in the league. Like he's one of them guys. But are they building a team in his image to the detriment of the rest of that roster? Perhaps, right? Like they probably need a little bit more shooting. They probably need a little bit more shooting. I mean, they went and got Reggie Bullock. And I think they have to find a true number two. Like I know it's supposed to be Porzingis, and Porzingis still has game as much as that hurts me to say. But I think the guy can still play, but I don't know if the role that he's in right now is one that A, he wants to be in, and two, that he feels he can thrive in. And this is somebody that played with Melo, right? So it's just like I think, and no shame to Melo, but like I think he respected Melo a lot more than he does Luca for whatever reason that is. And I mean, obviously we know the reason Melo's one of them guys, but I think it's just also like, is KP going to be comfortable in his role? I think if he gets comfortable in that role, this team has the ability to start clicking a bit better. But again, he also has to be available because he's always hurt. I think they need a number two that's going to be there all the time.
Yeah, like I said, we talk about this a lot. You know what I'm saying? Some of those, being able to unlock a little bit of Luca's off ball skills, which I don't really have a concern about or question if he can play off ball. They just really haven't had, what I'm saying, anybody who can unlock that part of his game. I think, what I'm saying, just from finding some the next level of efficiency from his game, that's probably where that comes from. You know what I'm saying? As much as I do love Porzingis, you know what I'm saying, the upgrade um, at center is definitely something I could see. You know what I'm saying, just defensively, because as much as what I'm saying, Dwight Powell, Cauley Stein, Boban, what I'm saying, those are serviceable bigs. And what I'm saying, in a perfect world, what I'm saying, Porzingis is supposed to be a five, but I don't really think I don't think Porzingis is really made out for a full-time five, even though like the dude is 7'3", but what I'm saying, that's a closing lineup, but it's not really something that I think you're probably giving up something, what I'm saying, by playing him at that spot. But what I'm saying, just another center who can bring another level of rim protection to go along with some more actual wing defense on this team. I'm a big Dorian Finney-Smith fan, and I do think Reggie Bullock. I do think Reggie Bullock will be a nice, what I'm saying, some more shooting for this team. I think they did lack a little bit of shooting last year, so I think like just compared to taking Josh Richardson's slot, I do think just the spacing that he's going to get for those lineups should be pretty good. But yeah, 48 and a half. I feel like, yeah, that's probably, yeah, man. I think that's tough for me. I think honestly, Jason Kidd being the coach year one kind of shades me towards wanting to take that under. Where are you at on the over
I
under for
mean,
that 48 and a half?
Jason Kidd's one of those guys that we don't trust him on the sideline. We cannot trust him on the sideline. I think he couldn't figure out what Budenholzer figured out, which is not much, right? Like I don't what I mean. Obviously, Giannis, I don't think was at that state where he is now. He's a god at this point, but I think it's one of those situations where Jason Kidd does not instill confidence in me that he can turn the tide on this team. So I'm cool with taking the under here, just on the gambling tip because I'm betting against all those factors. Like I know that KP struggles with health. I need to see how these other pieces fit. Add a new system.
It's just a real heavy burden for
Yeah,
Luca, and it's not something that I'm questioning whether he can
it's
do it
not
or
him.
not.
It's not
It's
him.
not. Yeah, he's not the question at all. And I love and Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a real solid, what I'm saying, complimentary guard. And it's definitely somebody who can contribute on a winning team. That's another thing that's not a question for me. But yeah, like between and what I'm saying, having somebody else who can get their own shot is probably another imperative thing that's looking for this team. Just in terms of giving that offense another look and what I'm saying, taking some of the burden off of Luca. I don't, what I'm saying, and hypothetically, Tyrell Terry, what I'm saying, he has the type of skill set you would think to probably get some buckets, but he's still far away from that. He's still extremely
Yeah.
skinny. And he's probably not close to that. Trey Burke, what I'm saying, he might be in China by the end of the year. So yeah, just finding, what I'm saying, another guy, what I'm saying, who could take that burden off on a night to night basis. But yeah, Luka's gonna put up numbers, and like you said, the health thing with Porzingis, that is a question mark. They could obviously, win over that number, but yeah, I could definitely see the team as I feel like this is a 45-46 win team.
Yeah. Is that now good enough for the playoffs?
No, I think that's probably enough for the playoffs. I
It's
actually
still. I
think
mean, it's
I
the
think some
West,
of
right?
the
So
I think some of the raw win totals in the West might be a little lower this year than it might be in other years. So yeah, I think 45-46 definitely that's probably enough for a playoff team in the West.
but what are you thinking? Like 6, 7, 8? Like are they a
Yeah,
playing
yeah, I
game?
think I think I think that's a 6, 7, 8 in that range.
Okay. So they're a suspect for the playing game.
Yeah, I could definitely see them in the playoff game. I think where did they finish last year? Yeah, they was a 7 seed last year, so that was basically just a little bit above the actual. I'm not looking at the wrong. I'm looking at the wrong season actually. They were a 5 seed last year. They were a 5 seed last
Yeah,
year,
that's what
but
I'm
they was
saying. They
basically
were not in the playing. Yeah.
no, they were a 5 seed last year. But they were tied for 42 and 30, which is basically that was tied. That it was 5 through 7. They were tied with the Blazers and the Lakers. So, yeah, I see them in that same range again this year in the West.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna go under. I'm comfortable with the under there. At some point, we're gonna have to not pick the same thing, but I think the logic on this one, that's a under for sure. All right, we can jump into the Los Angeles Clippers. Friend of the show, Paul George looks to lead up that roster as Kawhi will be coming off of ACL. Is it ACL? Is knee
Partially,
related?
it
Partial,
is
yeah.
related. ACL,
Um,
MCL is one of them.
yep. I mean, they drafted Keon Johnson, high flyer, Jason Preston, Brandon Boston, BJ Boston. For those who are not familiar with his full government, which I think very good move, especially where they got him. And I think the NBA game, will be a little bit
He looked good in it.
little
He looked much more comfortable in or like in preseason from the flashes I saw. So yeah, man, NBA game definitely is gonna be kind to him.
Yeah. Justice Winslow somehow is also on this team. I mean, they have a lot of wings. They re-signed Reggie Jackson, re-signed obviously Kawhi, Nick Batum, and they have Eric Bledsoe back after a decade hiatus back in LA. So a lot of wing depth on this team. Like a lot of wing depth on this team. Point guard, is that still a position of concern, you think, for them?
Uh, you know what I'm saying? That's the I wouldn't say a position of concern. I mean, backup point guard is probably a position of concern. The number for the Clippers is 44 and a half.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about. I think this is a 45 win team, 45 plus win team. Yeah, Bledsoe was just checked out on the Pelicans last year. So you know what I'm saying, the same. I think he might look a little, or just, you know what I'm saying. I don't think he even has to be great. He basically just has to supplement what they got from Pat Bev, and I think he can. I think, you know what I'm saying, I think that's pretty reasonable. Expecting that from Eric Bledsoe. I don't think like he's had seasons in the past where he's flashed all-star production. If they get him on the Reggie Jackson rehabilitation program and he's looking much more spry and athletic again, you know what I'm saying, that would be pretty good for them. But I think, you know what I'm saying, that's not a bad punch. I'm a huge I do think, I think this is going to be the season that people expected to see from Luke Kennard. I just think he's just too good of a shooter. I think the confidence is up. The usage rate is going to be up for him this year. So they're going to have an opportunity to really um, get him some more touches, and you know, him playing besides, you know, or just how he's going to fit next to Paul George and Reggie Jackson. I think he's going to get a lot of open shots. Terrence Mann, a huge Terrence Mann fan. Shout out to the FSU pipeline. He's another guy who I would expect to take a jump this year, and even you know what I'm saying, from the game I called in the preseason, you know what I'm saying, the confidence definitely looked to be up for him. He was letting it fly. And the kid can shoot. The kid can also put the ball on the floor, get to the basket, and has pretty good touch on his floater games, even going back to FSU. So yeah, I think I still think this team. I think, you know what I'm saying, I do think Ty Lue gives me some hope. I think he's pretty flexible in picking the right lineups. I think getting something from a guy like Justice Winslow on the wing defensively. He's healthy this year. We know, like, the Heat the Heat shipped his ass to Memphis, and I don't even know, did he ever play with Memphis? It feels like he
I
didn't
don't
play
think
much
he.
with them.
I don't think he played much. Like I don't. I can't. I don't have any memories of him at the Grindhouse running with John and them. Let's look because
I'm pulling it up.
I
I
don't.
have it right here. But he
He
played,
played
yeah, he played
apparently
26 games.
26
26
games. Yeah.
games. Only,
Um,
yeah, but only 500 minutes on that team. So you know what I'm saying, he has the prospect pedigree. He has shout out to that Duke, what was it, 2015 team. Him and Ja have fallen a long way from that championship or national championship team. But like, I still think he has all the tools to be a rotation player in the NBA. Health is his thing, and definitely, like, to see where the shot has progressed. But something that he hasn't even, like, I know he kind of just got, like, he also does have ball skills, and he can dribble a little bit. So, you know what I'm saying, I do think there's a fit for him there. So, and even looking at if Ibaka is healthy, Ibaka Zubac. So 44 and a half. I'm probably in the over on that number. I don't feel great about it. I don't think it's massively
40,
over.
44 and a half.
Paul George is still,
I
like,
assume the Lakers will be good. I assume the Suns will be good. I assume the Warriors will be much better. It's all in the same division. It's Paul George. He's gonna play at a MVP level. I mean, I'm gonna stay
yeah.
consistent with my brand. I'm gonna go with the under. Um, because you have to put your faith in Paul George. So I'm gonna go under.
All right, next squad we got on the breakdown. We could go to the aforementioned Golden State Warriors. So recapping the Warriors off season real quick, if I can find them on my damn spreadsheet. All right, so they drafted Jonathan Kuminga 7th. They got Moda Muzi
The
at the
cum
14th
bucket.
pick. Relax. Relax.
That's literally the
Um
worst nickname of all time. It's like that and the servant. From former Warrior great Kevin Durant, who turned down the Slim Reaper to be the servant. Things we don't talk about enough, honestly.
questionable decision making on his end for sure. But yeah, they also picked up out of Porter Jr. They got Nehemiah Bialika, Andre Iggy Iguodala, Andre Iguodala is back. And they lost Pascal, they lost Kent DeBazemore, and they lost Kelly Oubre. So that number for Golden State is 48 and a half wins. Talk to me, Raz. How you feeling about this team right now?
Now, Steph Curry showed me last year not to bet against him, right? But with all of that, lost to Ja in the playing game. Like they were a playing team, right? Like Steph Curry went bananas.
I wouldn't
So
really say it was Steph's fault in that game either,
no, it was
because
not. I mean,
he went dumb in that game.
he did. I mean, but Ja's explosive. Um, I
He couldn't.
think
Yeah, they had none for him.
there's nothing he was doing with that. But I mean, what does Clay look like? When is Clay back? Um, is Wiseman better this year? I think that comes into it. Which Wiggins do we get? Um, just a detour, real quick. The Phoenix
Also
Mercury have just taken the lead.
also
Yeah, anti-vax
anti-vax first team.
Wiggins. Yeah, I mean the what you call it? The WNBA. We got a good one going on for those that are tuned in live with us right now. You should turn on the ESPN. These women are hooping. These ladies are hoopers. They putting it all on the line right now. It's 70-69, 4 minutes left. This is game 2 of the finals. Chicago leads 1 game, so this is kind of do or die for Phoenix in the best of 5. But back to the Warriors. I think Steph is going to be Steph. We all knock on wood. We all need him to be healthy. The NBA is a much better place when we're getting Steph playing for the majority of the season. He is just as Stephen A. Smith would say, he's big time, right? Like we that's what we pay to go see. Clay, when he comes back, what Clay is he getting? And I think Wiggins has to, we keep waiting for Wiggins to take that step, right? And I don't think it's necessary a step in
Who is we?
the people are, you may not be one of those people, but people are looking for Wiggins to take another step, bro. And I don't know what that looks like.
I think that was last year. I think last year is probably I think that's the best
Did
Wiggins
he
yet.
take so what was Wiggins last year in terms of just let's pull up his stats from last year. I mean, played 71 games, so relatively healthy. 18.6, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, with that much shooting around, I mean, he has to figure out how to be maybe an off ball, that third guard that can facilitate for Steph when he doesn't have the ball, when Clay when he doesn't have the ball. I think that's kind of his next step, and obviously just becoming a much better defender. His 3-point shooting has improved. He's taken a considerable jump in Golden State, which maybe being around all that shooting really does help. But I mean, it's left to be seen. Draymond's gonna have to be healthy and not play his way into shape from the beginning of the season for them to hit this over. There's a lot of factors involved in this 48 and a half. Not that it's an unattainable number, but the West is, I think, like you said, like the West is kind of deep, and some of these numbers may not be as high as we thought.
Yeah, like I said, Wiggins defensively was really good for them last year. I don't really think that's ever been like his issue, to be honest. Like Wiggins always struck me as a, what I'm saying, head in the clouds type of guy. Which can probably lead to a little lackadaisical, what I'm saying. Just in terms of like particularly that's apparent on off ball defense. On ball, what I'm saying, pretty good defender when he's in position. Clay, what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect Clay until 2022 at least. What I'm saying? This ain't Christmas. Yeah, I'll take 2022, probably like sometime like mid-January, I would say, maybe around February. Otto Porter Jr., man, I think he is a huge swing piece for this team. I'm expecting him to make a bounce back season. I think one thing I do think, as long as he's healthy, as long as like health is the main concern with that guy. He hasn't really been healthy. Wasn't healthy as all last year. And previously when he was in Chicago, he just didn't seem you know what I'm saying? It's they probably were asking him to be something he wasn't in Chicago. And that's you know what I'm saying. That's probably you know what I'm saying. It's wise that they moved on and they got guys who just fit. You know what I'm saying as a team much better. But Otto, as you know what I'm saying, a connective tissue type of player, he's always had high IQ since his Georgetown days. Can always pass the ball, make good reads. I think I could see him a lot of you know what I'm saying, taking some of those, you know, secondary playmaking stuff, running a lot of those same stuff that Draymond does. And when he gets a lot more, you know, familiar with Steph, I think that's going to be another action that's going to it's going to lead to a lot of successful actions and you know getting Steph open off ball. Jordan Poole kind of looking like the breakout star of the preseason right now. Jordan Poole has always been a bucket going back to his Michigan days, so he's starting to find his footing in the league. His dribble has always been one that's been pretty damn advanced. You know what I'm saying? He's mad shifty.
Yeah.
So I yeah, like, and I think he's bulked up. I definitely see and I think just from those first flashes we saw him in the league where he not even it's not even hyperbole, but he was legitimately his rookie season one of the worst rotation players in the league.
For
And the
sure.
first half of last year, he was definitely down there. But yeah, after basically the second half of the season last year, he took massive strides towards becoming a better player. And I think before we even get into the other players, you know, I think Moody's going to step into the rotation aside, but I think just going back to where this team was after they lost KD, going back to just, you know what I'm saying, how that team was, they lost all of their depth after that KD and after they lost KD after that Clay injury, and it was they were hard capped and it was literally impossible for them to fill out their roster with the type of quality rotation pieces that they need to put around Steph. I think they're finally getting to a point where they're gonna have quality on this team and they're gonna have depth and they're gonna be able they you know what I'm saying, they have serviceable guys who can contribute and they have basically a young core of guys who you know what I'm saying, should be able to grow. And, you know, once they get, you know what I'm saying, start building chemistry with Steph. So 48 and a half, I just don't, yeah, I mean, I guess I
I
have to
gotta.
I got to take the under eventually, like you said, but I think MVP level Steph Curry, which is what we're going to get. I think, you know what I'm saying, to improve Jordan Poole. I think Otto Porter, Wiggins, even Iggy I think the defense is going to be really solid, and I think the offense is going to improve. I don't know what the hell to make of Wiseman. Is he going to improve for this team? I'd probably,
I hope so,
oof,
right? They
I
told
mean,
us he was generational.
I don't, yeah, that was definitely a Joe Lacob thing. So, I wasn't going there, but you know, what I'm saying, I think sometimes you got to take your time with some of these young big men. Um, but yeah, man, I think there's enough pieces on this team. I think team is going to be around. I think this is looking like a top 4 seed in my opinion. So I just don't doubt the brilliance of Steph Curry. I think I think we're still actively in his prime. So yeah, man, I'm taking the over on the Warriors.
You're taking the over. Over 48 and a half. This is a 50-win team. How many 50-win teams are going to be in this division? Three? Is that what we're going with right now? Like,
It's possible.
yeah. So I think they'll win 48 games, which is not the over. So I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under. I don't feel good about it at all, but I think they'll go slightly under.
All right, who we got next?
Whew, we can jump into. We can go to Memphis Grizzlies. Let's go down to Grand City. Um, got Zaire Williams. as their draft prize this year. Wow, Santi Aldama. I don't remember them drafting him, and this is a draft podcast, so I apologize, everyone.
They
Um,
did draft him.
yeah, okay, well, we'll see what happens there. They traded for Steven Adams. They got Jared Culver, who I was pretty decently high on out of the draft. It hasn't panned out in any stretch of the imagination, but can he be reborn somewhere? Maybe, right? Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn is on this roster. Is that still official?
That's Grind
That's
City.
a
That's a Grind City
yeah, like
pickup.
that's he's gonna play defense and he's gonna go downhill, and I think that's a good backup point guard for John Morant. I mean, I feel like
Backup.
yeah, I mean he's gonna get minutes though, just due to the nature of how this team is gonna play. Like he'll end up getting some minutes. Carson Edwards is also on this team, which Carson is very small in stature, but I mean in spurts perhaps can score. I don't see him getting much playing time for this roster. They lost JV as we said earlier. They lost Grayson Allen, which I think is going to be a bigger loss than they anticipated. And I think Justice Winslow is also, as we said, in Los Angeles with the Clippers. This number right now is at 41 and a half. 41 and a half would mean no one else on this team takes a step forward, right? Like I think that's where they've been the last couple of years, middling at 8 to 10 seed kind of thing. So is this something where Ja takes that next step as a scorer and gets into the 20 point mark? Still keeping his assists 7, 8 ish. Is the year he takes that step? Is this the year that Jaren Jackson is healthy and proves to be a number 2 scoring option? I think these are the questions that we're looking at. Obviously you got Dylan Brooks, who's still on this roster.
Hurt. He's hurt already. Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, when he gets it together, when he's healthy, can his irrational confidence now match the results on the court? Is that something that we can get closer together in I guess in symmetry, I guess. And then in terms of losing JV, like Steven Adams takes away offensively from this team, I think. They'll never lose the rebounding battle, but I think without that, JV was obviously a better offensive player. 41 and a half is low still to me, I think. I do think they'll be fighting for a playing spot again this year. I think you're going to need more than 41 to do that, so I'll go over.
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies are in a really interesting spot. It seems, I think it does. It definitely. I feel like the core of that team is really strong when you're talking about, what I'm saying, Ja, Jaren, and if you want to put Dylan Brooks in these guys, but it feels like the organization is taking this as more of a lateral season. So because a lot of the moves they made this year were geared to the future. So, and this is actually something we did talk about in the past when we just talk about, what I'm saying, having a good core, having a strong roster. But when you have a good team that's, what I'm saying, exceeding expectations, and saying putting that together and going against when it's time to go all in, and what I'm saying, still dealing with a team that probably still needs some long-term pieces. So it seems like the organization is a little more concerned with the future than right now. I think Jaren Jackson is probably in one of the most important years of his career coming up, with a contract on the line with him. He has the skill set to be a max player, but with him, the health really has not been there at all. What I'm saying? But I'm respect, like I said, I think health with him is a huge concern. I think Tillman, Clark, Desmond Bain. In my head, DeAnthony Melton. I literally love this roster, and like you said,
it has people on it you're rooting for. it has role players on it that you love, like even for somebody like me, like Xavier Tillman, uh, Chris Dunn, like just random players on this team that you're rooting for, regardless of where they're at. I think adds to us wanting them to be that roster we expect them to be.
Yeah, I think the spacing on this team might be I think what I'm saying, even with losing Jonas, swapping him out for Steven Adams. I know Jaron is there, and they'll be able to replace some of the Dylan Brooks minutes with Bain, but I think this team is missing a little bit of shooting. But I'd probably edge towards the under for the Grizzlies right now. It doesn't seem like the organization objective is really aligned right now. I could see, obviously I could see them going over, but if they, I could also see them, what I'm saying, doing some, or like trying to like still gain some more assets in the future during the actual season. But yeah, man, I think, and that's tough because I do love this core, but it just doesn't seem like this is a year for them where I see them really like massively exceeding expectations. And but that's basically all they've done the past 3 years, so wouldn't really surprise me though at the same time.
So what are you taking?
I'm taking the slight under on the Grizzlies. Obviously, Vegas is very good on this, but I think they're going to be around 39-40 wins this year. Yeah.
I'm going over because I'm a homer. Um, Shout out friend of the podcast, John Morant, and I think they're gonna. I think he takes the next step. I think Jaren Jackson in that year, like you said, very important for him and his development as a player, and his financial status as a player. I think he figures it out this year. So I'm gonna go a little bit on the over there.
All right, so we could try and fly through these next couple rounds before we end up recording for 2 hours. But all right, so next team on the docket, we do got the LA Lakers out here, 52 and a half. Lakers had definitely one of the
Let's
more
go with the over.
interesting.
Let's go with the over.
I'm
Let's
I'm ah ah
bro. I think it's gonna be a
Ken,
little bit of
hold on.
both.
Let's I have my concerns. I have my
Okay, go ahead.
concerns.
Go ahead.
I have my concerns. So yeah, the Lakers obviously they picked up. Let's start with who they lost. They lost NBA IG Honey Kyle Kuzma. They did lose six man of the year Montrezl Harrell. Kentavious Caldwell Pope, all of them to Washington. They also did lose Alex Caruso. They lost Markieff Morris, Dennis Schroeder, Ben McLemore, and Dre Drummond. Picked up in free agency this year. I see they got Trevor Ariza. They got Dwight Howard in the post, dog. Wayne Ellington, Kent DeBazemore, Kendrick Nunn, Through the Dome, Mello, Malik Monk, Taylor Horton Tucker,
He's hurt.
Rondo,
He's hurt
and
already. I think.
he's hurt already. And they did pick up Westbrook. Now, um, this team is going to be something. Okay, I think I don't know. I kind of think this team's going to take some time to figure out, which is why like I think you just want to say the over, and I don't know, man. Like I think this
I think people
roster.
have a lot to prove this year too. I mean, they shouldn't, but I think they like
I
to.
think there's gonna be a trial and error actual moment for this team, to where it's just like, yeah, 52 and a half. I think they're a 50 win team. I wouldn't, what I'm saying, I think Anthony Davis, what I'm saying, never staying healthy. I think Braun is to the point in his career where a full season also isn't in his cards, what I'm saying, at this point. I think Westbrook definitely is going to, like, I don't see the floor falling out from beneath this team. Like somebody like Westbrook on that team is just gonna help them whenever, who, if Bron is out, if AD is out, he's definitely gonna help them. I'm concerned about this team's wing defense for one. I think
Yeah, they're slow.
um
They're slow of foot out there for
I
sure.
think I think we're closer to I think we're closer to I think just fundamentally how some of those later Cleveland teams were set up to where they did need Braun to really be like really good nightly on defense and not really pick his parts like you know what I'm saying 36, 37-year-old Braun that has a tendency to do at this point in his career. I think I think yeah, I think AD it kind of just depends. I think the over I mean the one deciding benefactor on his team will be how many games are he getting from AD, and is he getting back to what I'm saying that defensive player of the year type of
Yeah,
impact on a night to night basis.
there's a lot of moving parts. I think the talent at some point will prevail, but like you said, maybe it comes to there's gonna be a lot of low management with this team. Um, so we'll see what happens, and I think 52 and a half it could be high. I did say over, so I'm not gonna renege after you gave your eloquent point. So I'm gonna ride with that bad decision I made. But you can go under, I assume, and to break it up real quick. Um, Vandersloot just hit Skylar Diggins with some shit. We got a tie game. 4.4 seconds left in the WNBA playoffs. In the game two of the finals. But Phoenix got a chance to win it right now. So I don't want to. I might live call it with y'all. Oh, they've turned it over. They've turned it over. We're going to overtime. It seems, unless Vandersloot hits the shot. She just shot that shit from half court. It rimmed out. We got overtime. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the over with the Lakers. What you got? 5K. You on mute, brother.
Just the 52 and a half. I just see them working out some things during the regular season. I don't see them going pedal to the metal the whole year. I think this is an incomplete form of this roster. I see them, you know what I'm saying, probably getting somebody on the buyout market on the second half post trade deadline. DeAndre Jordan is cooked. Um, Dwight Howard might also be cooked. So I see a couple holes in this roster that you know what I'm saying could be more of a detriment in the regular season. But I think this team has too much talent to not win games in the regular season. And I think they're just kind of I don't think they're going to be concerned with the regular season. I think you know what I'm saying second half of the season probably when they start hitting their stride. So yeah, I could just like I said, I think it kind of just like I said before, it just kind of just comes down to the AD and what AD we're getting for the regular season. So yeah, I'm gonna take that under for the Lakers. Next team we can go to the Phoenix Suns. All right, Phoenix Suns. Pretty they had a you know what I'm saying, pretty, you know what I'm saying, quiet off season, not too crazy. Only players they lost were Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. They did resign campaign. They did resign Chris Paul. They picked up JaVale to play backup point. They picked up, backup center Porter. And they picked up Alfred Payton to play backup point. They also signed the beige man Landry Shamet. Um, and the number on the Suns over under right now is 51 and a half. Raz, what do you have with that?
Shamit provides some shooting that they need. And I think the most glaring need they had was a backup big for when teams attacked DeAndre Ayton and got him into a bit of foul trouble. So I think the addition of JaVale McGee is something that helps this team. Alfred Payton provides a little bit more guard depth. I know Knicks fans don't want to hear that, but he's not going to be the starter there. And he's probably going to be the third point guard off the bench, someone who can defend in spurts and run a team in a pinch. So that's going to be good in terms of even getting Chris Paul a blow, as he is a elder statesman as well. Um, they lost the Javon Carter and Torrey Craig, but I think Landry Shamet, you'll live with the offense you get there, and wing defense isn't an issue for them anyway. I think this team brings it back, and they're a team that knows they need home court advantage, I think, to win. So I think they're gonna be a little bit pedal to the metal again. to kind of just secure, a number 1, 2, or 3 seed, and I think they'll hit the over on this one.
Yeah. All right. So my thing with this team, you know what I'm saying? I think like I said, health is obviously the biggest concern on this team. Chris Paul played 70 of 72 last year. Um, can we? I think that's about the number I would expect for CP in that 65 to 70 games played range for them right now. I'm expecting another step up from Mikal Bridges. I'm expecting another step up from Aiton as well. Cam Johnson's another one that those guys that I see taking the step up. But yeah, I don't know. I can see them. I can see this going either way. And once again, Vegas is just perfect with this number because I see this as a 50-win team. Um, yeah, man. I think there's gonna be a little bit of regression for some of the Suns. I think maybe I see some regression possibly from Jake Crowder. I think possibly a second unit might not flow as well. So I'm probably like it's not I still see them as a playoff team. Probably a top 5 team in the West. I'll probably take the under on the Suns. Now, I still expect them to be damn good. And obviously, I can actually see them. You know, what I'm saying dusting through this number as well. I just have an under inkling. Slightly. If I had to, gun to my head, I'm probably taking the under on them. I don't even have a great. I don't even have great
You
logic
don't have
for
a
them. It's just
you don't have a reason. You just
I
going with
really,
the under.
yeah, I really, it's not even a great reason on my front. And like I said, I'm not expecting them to stink or anything. I see them around 48 to 50, 51 games. Yeah, I mean, but they're going to be a damn good team. Monty Williams, probably if I kept thinking about it any longer, I'd probably talk myself into the over. But like you said, for the sake of embracing debate, I'm gonna take a slight under on the Suns.
All right. I mean, you say you know logic, so you're just going off your gut. And we can jump into the Portland Blazers, not Portland Trailblazers. 44.5 is the number. I feel like that's always the number.
Right.
Like I feel like that number, and every year I doubt it, and every year Dame hits that number. They drafted Greg Brown. They went and got Dame Lillard some help. They got him Cody Zeller, Tony Snell, and Ben McElmore. Norman Powell resigned, and they acquired Larry Nance Jr., which he's also a part of one of the most questionable Twitter posts of all time. I'm not sure why Bleacher Report turned him into Patrick Starr after a slam dunk. We'll never have the answers to that. But yeah, I mean, this team is the same team with some new faces.
Everything Manny in the chat with a take. He says if you look at the stats and really think about it, Tim Duncan is far better than LeBron James. He won more while playing with less Hall of Famers than Bron. Bron played with almost 23 Hall of Famers.
Hold on.
That's a fuego.
First of all, leave. Hold on. Let me leave this up so I can get this on our socials real quick because I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand what's going on here, brother. Okay, so Tim Duncan, big Tim Duncan guy here. One of the biggest Tim Duncan. Yeah, shout out to Manu, one of the biggest Tim Duncan guys around. I have him in. I think he's in my. We did it. Go listen to the episode. He's in my top 7, all time. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like what the fuck are you talking about? What are we like? How is he far better than who? LeBron, the same. Come on, man.
Hey man. I mean, those.
You can please subscribe to all of our leave us 5 stars.
This
be a troll.
This been on your heart for a minute, my G. I know that's been festering in your head. I know you just wanted to get that off somewhere. I ain't mad at it though. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for the comment, my G. Appreciate you checking in. What team were we on? I don't remember. I don't even remember no more. Trailblazers,
The
44 and
fucking
a half.
Blazers, yeah. I'm
Yo,
going with the under. I'm going with the under, son.
bro, we gotta, yo, everything, Manny. We can have this debate. I appreciate you in the comments. I don't want to record for 2 hours right now, so I'm gonna bring this back to us on a different show. And we just shoot this shit, and we can have this show, and we can have this, and we can go into a full Tim Duncan first Bron debate. We can do that for you. I promise, bro. We are too off track right now, but but yeah,
Tell me
back
why
back to
Bron is better and present evidence.
Okay, we gonna bring evidence for you. Bring that. Come back in the chat. We will return to that. We will return to that. To get us back on track for a second, though, Raz. 44 and a half. Portland Trailblazers. The rotation is looking something like this. Dame, CJ, Norman Powell, Covington, Nurk. Not a bad five. That's a pretty good five. Simons. Shout out to the boy Dennis Smith Jr. Had a pretty damn good preseason for them. I hope he can hopefully play that third guard for them. And then also they got Larry Nance Jr. So yeah, where are you at on who's this nigga? There he goes. Where are you at on the Trailblazers, right?
I'm going with the under. Right? I mean, I'm gonna keep hitting it until it actually hits. Dame is one of them guys, so he might really very much well just get him to 45 wins per usual. But I'm gonna go under. Just like this team, at some point he's gonna check out, right? He can't when is the year he forces the trade? Because they can't keep going like this.
Yeah, they won 42 games last year in the abbreviated season. I think this team is definitely for sure better than it was. Yo, who's I think they're definitely better than they were last year. Larry Nance Jr., the aforementioned Larry Nance Jr., he's definitely going to be a big what I'm saying, X factor for this team. But I don't know, man. Something just don't feel right. Something just don't feel right about this Blazers team to me, man. Like I said, like the Dame CJ thing, they just have great chemistry, but I don't know, man. Yeah, 40. If like Vegas is so good, I think they are a 44-win team. I'm probably with you on the under. Because yeah, I mean, Dame has to play at an MVP level. And if he plays at anything short of an MVP level, like even Dame, like giving gap, like having a regular All-Star season, might not be enough for this team. But you know what I'm saying, possibly we are underrating Nurkic. I do think Nurk and Nance might
Is
be
he
a
gonna
pretty
be
good.
healthy though? That's what I'm saying.
He's I think he's healthy now. Covington, you know what I'm saying? I think Covington is good as well. I don't know. I could talk myself into the over this seems well, but yeah, I think something's gonna happen with this team at a certain point. I'm kind of with you on that. But yeah, this is probably one of those numbers that you know what I'm saying people probably take the under every year. And I do think this is probably one of their better rosters that they put together. This is probably one of their more complete rosters that they've had. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna take the. I would go push if I could, but I'm gonna give me the under for the Blazers.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see. Where
All
we
right,
at
so
right now?
next team we could go. I see we
The
have
Kings. Do we want to
we
talk
can
about the
do
Kings?
we gonna have to get them out the way. So Sacramento, real quick, is looking at their off season. All right, so obviously they picked up Davion Mitchell. We could probably fly through this one. Pick 9 in the NBA draft. My guy Nemias Queta, number 39, free agency. They re-signed Mo Harkless. They got Alex Len. They re-signed one of my favorite bigs in the league, Rashawn Holmes. They also did re-sign Terrence Davis. They picked up Tristan Kardashian Thompson. And they lost Delon Wright and Hassan Whiteside in free agency. The number on the Kings is 33 and a half.
That sounds right about right.
Where are you at on that?
I mean, does Fox take a step, right? Like, I mean, I'm gonna go over for the sake of going over. I think this team can't continue to be It can. It absolutely can continue to be as bad as they used to be. But I think Fox gets them to a respectable 37 wins this year, man.
Uh, how many games did this team win last year? They won 31 games last year. So are they 2 wins better? I
Yeah.
think the impact of somebody like Davion Mitchell is going to be noticeable from day one. Like his defense is going to be incredible for this team. I still just think they're missing some defense. What I'm saying? Does Bagley take a step this year?
Is he gonna
I like
play?
that too. That too. When he is he going to play? Halliburton, Hield. It's not a bad team. I can also see. Like it seemed like Buddy Hield was in trade rumors once. So if he's dealt, what I'm saying, sometime during the season or at the deadline, wouldn't be shocked. What I'm saying, De'Aaron Fox is incredible. What I'm saying, I think he took a leap last year. I think so if he continues to improve this year, I really wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, this team, it's not a bad team. It's going to be seen. What I'm saying, how much can Fox, Mitchell, and Halliburton play together? What I'm saying? Also, yeah, man, but I'm gonna take the under on the Kings. I think Luke Walton, if we'd have to pull this number up about actual, the first coach to be fired. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. The actual Luke Walton, is he gonna be the first coach to be fired? I could actually respect it. I think he might be the first coach to be fired. So I just think, yeah, it's another team that actually is not gonna work. So yeah, give me the under on 35.5 for the Kings.
I'm gonna go to over. I'm gonna go over. For the sake of some dissension in our picks. I think I think for the next one we can jump into our favorite Minnesota Timberwolves. You can talk about the team real quick, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna hear you out. I wish we had our I wish we had our I wish we had our boy, um, you know, here on the show with us to talk T Wolves. We gotta bring him back on. He owes me a rebuttal from last year's show.
Yeah. All right. So T Wolves obviously picked up not too crazy in the draft. Didn't have any draft picks. Picked up Torian Prince, Pat Bev, Ricky Rubio as well. In the actual that trade with Prince. So yeah, man. What is the number on the Wolves right now?
Was it 30
Let's see.
34? Is it 34 and a half?
Yeah,
Or what?
30, 34 and a half for the Wolves right now. I'm I'm taking the over, man. I ain't learned my lesson last year, but I will say this before I get into my spiel. Raz, we had the episode with Dane last year, and then we came into this, and what I'm saying, the second I watched him in the preseason, and we did the over under show. I was like, nah, this is under. I've watched him in the preseason this year again, and I'm saying, the pieces are actually moving this year. I'm saying, Ryan Saunders was the worst coach in the NBA last year. He is gone. He is somewhere coaching junior varsity basketball in Minnesota, probably. The nepotism hire of nepotism hires.
Rest in
But
peace. Rest in peace to Flip though, for sure.
yeah, rest in peace to Flip. But yeah, I'm gonna take the over for this team. I think this is one of the more talented rosters just in the West. I think a full season of Cat. I think Cat is gonna get back to being, what I'm saying, a all NBA type of center. In this league, I think this is going to be a get back season for him to just get back. Like I said, we talk so much about how perception is fickle. And Cat hasn't, what I'm saying, the shine is kind of off of Cat, just in terms of the player he is at this point. Because people, if you're losing, what I'm saying, people just don't respect it. And what I'm saying, because I think even defensively, I think he's going to show an improved player. And Edwards, I think he's going to be in a great situation for his development one more time. I think even defensively, something to where he was really like a days ago on defense at Georgia. He was getting lost on off ball. His attention span off ball in his rookie season wasn't there as well. Even navigating screens was the big issue he's had. But I think, you know what I'm saying, in preseason he's shown a lot more focused, and even Chris Finch and a lot of the coaching staff has even applauded him for a lot of the you know what I'm saying, just his improvements on that end. I think Pat Beverly is going to be huge for this team just in terms of energy and bringing that type of it. I mean, Pat, the only concern with Pat Bev obviously is health. But if he's on the court, I think he's going to be huge for this team. And a massive upgrade over the Rubio spot that they had last year. Jaden McDaniels, I think, is you know what I'm saying? I think he is one of the more underrated, you know what I'm saying, just young players in the league. He got robbed for, you know what I'm saying, all rookie teams last year. Yeah, man, I'm taking the over on this Wolves team. I think the offense is going to be dynamic. I think, you know what I'm saying, the last year after they got rid of Ryan Saunders, you know what I'm saying, this is obviously ignoring, but their offensive rating was on par with the Nets after they hired Chris Finch. So the offense is going to be cooking with fish grease. The offense is going to be really good, and that's even I didn't even mention Malik Beasley to go on that side. I think even Torian Prince is going to bring them some shooting. I think this team is going to be around, you know what I'm saying, at worst 38 to 40 wins this year, and I think that's close to the floor of this team. I'm not getting too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Raz, I already know what you're going to say, so just go ahead. We can fly through this one.
No, I mean I'm hearing you out right now. I
I ain't
don't
even.
think
I'm not. I ain't even mentioned D'Lo. That's a whole different can of worms that I won't even go into. That's a different
you know
episode for a different day.
the
But
D-Lo. We could talk about the D-Lo, man. What's
we,
going on, man? Like
hey
he
man, we
is
going
it
when
is
we
it
get
is
into
his
this.
year? Is it his year?
This gonna be the break. This gonna be the breakout season. But you know what I'm saying. I would, like I said, I think we just talk about him. This is obviously the most talented team he's played on his career. Like it's
Yeah.
I think about this a lot, and I just laugh at it about, you know what I'm saying, just the horrible rosters that he's been on in his career. Like it's obviously, like it's really he's been on some downtrodden rosters to the point where people look at him just as a losing player because of the roster he's been on. And that's a tough way to really evaluate players. Because like I said, if our starting point is, you know what I'm saying, he's not the number one, but he's not gonna be the best player on a good team. You probably don't want him to be the second best player on a good team. But if you want to play on that second or third, on that third spot, hypothetically, like perfectly, you know what I'm saying, I think he's being close to the right role that he's going to be in. You know what I'm saying, I think Ant, as Ant continues to grow, you know what I'm saying, this is going to make him even better. But yeah, man, I think he's gonna. I think, you know what I'm saying, I think a nice, you know what I'm saying, 23 and like 8 is easily a season I can see him having this year.
I mean, you guys love you some D-Lo. I'm gonna go with the under. Stay true to the brand until something switches up. And I mean, I'm a big Ant-Man fan too. So actually, let's be real. 34 and a half, some improvement time. I think there'll be a 37 win team. I'm gonna go to over. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna go to over. I think Ant-Man has the ability to drag this team from the depths of 34 and a half.
All right, so what other teams we got here? Oklahoma City 23 and a half. We could fly through this one real quick. They picked up Josh Giddey, Trey Man, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, in the draft. Re-signed Mike Muscala. Shea Gilly did get a max extension. They lost Al Horford, Moses Brown, Kemba Walker, and Tony Bradley. And they picked up Derek Favors. I don't know. Do we have a lot to say on the Thunder?
Nah, I'm just gonna go with the under and go from there. I mean, you could go like sure they have Shy or Shay, whatever we want to call him. I think he's a very good player. Um, it's not going to be enough. I mean, they have a lot of youth that I'm interested in seeing, but I don't see this team winning many games. So let's go with the under here, man.
All right, next team we do have the Rockets. We can fly through the Rockets as well. The Rockets, you know what I'm saying, Jalen Green, number 2 pick. I mean, he's gonna get buckets. You know what I'm saying?
It's
He's gonna
true.
put on a show to watch. Him and Kevin Porter Jr. should add some league pass type of excitement for that squad. Alperen Sengun is definitely somebody I'm keeping an eye on. I'm gonna be very excited to watch him play. Garuba, Usman Garuba, and Josh Christopher, another two guys who do have are going to be exciting to see. You know what I'm saying? Just what they do with the playing time that they're going to get. And they did pick up Daniel Dice. But yeah, I mean, what do we have on this Rockets team? I don't know. What would be your expectations for KPJ this year, right? I will ask you that.
They're talking about playing him in a little bit more of a point guard role. Interested to see it, I guess. So I think this is a year that is going to be a very important year for him, just like we said with somebody like Jaren Jackson. Not in terms of his money, but just in terms of getting that stink off of him, in terms of who he is as a person and who like his attitude as a player. So I think he'll come into this with a little bit more control and hope to build a rapport with somebody like Jalen, so that they can be a 1-2 punch going down the line, and so that Houston finds the money to re-sign him and make him a long-term part of this future, because he's a young player and was left for dead in the NBA, and somebody that many teams fan bases clamored for them to pick up and take a shot on. I was one of those guys like, yeah, give him a flyer on the Knicks. Maybe Tibbs can he won't play him, but get him some structure in his NBA life. And I think if they can get that together with him and Jalen Green down in Houston, they got a good wing combo there.
Yeah, like I said, free Christian Wood. It's going to be interesting. I would be trying to steal him from him. I think it's probably in the Rockets' best interest to see what they could get for him. You know what I'm saying? Early in there, but yeah, 25 and a half on that roster. Obviously, this team is going to be very young and very bad. So yeah, we are both taking that under on the 25 and a half. Two more teams left here. So we do have not the Sacramento Kings, the San Antonio Spurs out here. So recapping their offseason real quick, they did pick up Josh Primo in the draft number 12. They picked up Douglas McDermott in free agency, Zach Collins, Brent Forbes returned to San Antonio. And they also did pick up Alfred Aminu and Thaddeus Young. Also lost DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, Gorgie Dang, Trey Lyles, and Patty Mills to free agency. 28 and a half is the number on the Spurs. I think I just don't see them.
I'm gonna go over. I mean, I can't put Pop out the pasture like that, bro.
He's gonna coach his way. Like I can't see them winning under 30 games. I don't see them as, what I'm saying, Spurs always tend to overachieve. You know what I'm saying? Murray and Derek White are, what I'm saying, they're just that's a rough night for most, you know what I'm saying, backcourts in the league. Like it's not fun going against those guys defensively. That's probably like, it's up there. I think that's probably a top 5 defensive backcourt in the league.
The legend is here.
Oh, what's good, Paulie? What up, bro?
Yeah, the God, where you been, man?
Yeah, what's good, brother? But yeah, they got you know what I'm saying, Keldon Johnson. I was expecting him to take another leap. I think Devin Vassell, whatever. I think it's Vassell. Is gonna take another. I think, you know what I'm saying, he's definitely shown. His defense has always been league ready. I think it's gonna be interesting to see him take on a little bit more ball handling chops this year. And it's gonna be interesting to see how far his offensive game has improved. You know what I'm saying, Doug, I think, McDermott, he's gonna give them some spacing. I don't know who is spacing the floor on this team besides Doug McDermott, because he looks to be the only person on this team who can really shoot. Shout out to Trey Jones. I also would expect him to take another leap this year. Lonnie Walker. This is a team, and then they got Thad Young. So I'm taking the over on any team that has Thad Young. Jakob Poeltl, probably the most underrated defensive center in the league. And I don't know if Zach Collins is gonna play this year. But yeah, he's definitely, like, the opportunity for him to get more minutes is definitely gonna be there on this team. So yeah, man, I think Pop is just too good of a coach for this team to really go on the 30. But I don't know if it's probably not in it. It probably it would at a certain point would be in their best interest to flatten out and get a real blue chip talent on this team because they're not they got serviceable rotation players, but they're really just missing that number one, you know what I'm saying, that real alpha and that real, you know, star they could build around.
I'm going over. Just like we said before, like Pop is he's too good. And they have this team does it needs talent for sure, but it has a good amount of talent. I don't think there's I don't think they're hurting for a ridiculous amount of talent. Like they can use a star, but they have complementary pieces and young players that should be ascending. So I'll go over there. 28.5 is a ridiculous number for Pop.
Yeah,
And then
it feels disrespectful.
yeah, last but not least, the most boring team, um, racist establishment, worst fans in the NBA. Their number one legend is a person we don't talk about. First of all, first and foremost, fuck Carmelo. Bad guy. John Stockton, noted anti-vaxxer. Um, was there ever any bad things said about Jerry Sloan? I guess for the most part, he seemed to be a decent guy, but you never
We
know. We
don't.
haven't
I
got
better.
we
You know what I'm saying.
we
We start digging. We might find some John Gruden
yeah
intel. You
we
never
haven't
know.
found what his AOL 4.0 looks like. So rest in peace to Jerry Sloan, I think. And this team is what it is. They're very cap strapped at this point. Gobert is going to continue to be, great on the defensive end. Drafted Jared Butler, re-signed Mike Conley. Jared Butler's not on this team though. Am I correct?
Nah,
Is he
he
still?
is. He's
No,
been playing.
no, he is. He is. He is.
He's
He
playing. He's
is.
playing preseason. Nah, he's playing.
Okay, Conley. So for whatever that's worth, is he going to be hurt? Perhaps. Hassan Whiteside, Rudy Gay, who they've been touting as their small ball five, which sure, I don't know what we're like. I don't know if I want to see that. Eric Paschal, that's a good pickup there. Lost Derek Favors, who, by the way, I think we
You love
need.
that's some
Yeah,
black nepotism. You love to see black nepotism. So I'll
no,
allow it.
Derek
We're gonna allow that.
Favors. Derek Favors. First of all, we got to sit here and really and think about not in too deep, right? But like Derek Favors is 30 years old, right? Let's think about this. He
DeMarcus
played for
Cousins is out the league. He's
Derek Favors.
31. Like he's not.
Derek Favors played on the New Jersey Nets, and he's only 30 years old. I want you. I want y'all to think about. Derek Favors is 30. Played for the New Jersey Nets. So we'll go there. They lost Derek Favors, who's a solid and quality big backup big. George Niang, whatever. Good player. Shout out to Iowa State Cyclones back in the day. Lost a lot of money fucking with y'all in the tournament. Yeah, I mean this team is pretty much running it back. Jordan Clarkson, 6 man of the year. Which Bogdanovich do they have out there? Bojan. They have Bogdan. Bogdan is out in Utah. That's automatic. They got Paul George's father, Joe Ingles, out
They got
there.
Bojan, bro. They got Bojan.
Bojan. That's the older
Yeah,
looking one, correct? Yes.
yeah.
So they have him. Well, I mean, either way, he's automatic. They both can shoot. Um, they have Joe Ingles out there.
Serbian, Croatian sniper actually.
Yeah, we got obviously Joe Ingles is a big part of this team. Donovan Mitchell, he take the next step as being more than he's electric, but there's holes in his game that we could nitpick if we weren't 90 minutes in. But shout out to him, Mets fan, love him. I think this team is going to be good. They're going to play defense. Quinn Snyder might be a fraud, so we're gonna watch out for that. Well dressed fraud, I'll say that. But coaching against some of these good coaches, he he infamously put that James Harden game plan in, which was force him to his left hand. I don't know if anybody remembers that series. It didn't end well for them. The number's 52.5. Are they a 1 seed again this year? I don't know. I might have them coming in slightly under, but they are running it they're running it right back. And defense is a thing that travels. And I think they'll play defense harder than most teams each year. And I wish I could hit the push on this shit. But I'll go under on the Jazz with 52.5.
You say Chris Snyder was a stun double when American Psycho would die. He definitely.
This is also
mad on
great.
point.
This is great.
The
Bojangles. I'm sure we can't let Utah fans hear that. It'll get real racist real soon, Paulie Pockets. But
but yeah, man, I'm taking the over on the Jazz. I just think they are one of the best regular season teams in the league. You know what I'm saying? Conley, you know what I'm saying, was they finally got a healthy Conley season last year, and if Conley does like a healthy Conley and you know what I'm saying in that series, it's funny because everybody's just gonna remember the Terrence Mann game in that Jazz Clippers series. But yeah, Conley playing at half speed basically definitely didn't help them as well. Mitchell Clarkson is definitely, you know what I'm saying, a lot of buckets in that backcourt. Royce O'Neal, I kind of see him, real solid role player, man. I think I see him taking another you know what I'm saying, this is a leap in consistency. Real good, you know what I'm saying, the guy that they depend on to guard a lot of the better wing guys. Like we just talked about my guy Bojan. Just like I said, I said this earlier before we even started recording, but every time that dude puts a shot up, I'm expecting it to go in. That guy's automatic. Um, it'll be hilarious if we even. I just want to see a couple minutes of a Whiteside Rudy Gobert front court just for some LOLs. I just want to see how it looks like.
There's no reason to wish that on anybody's eyes. You are doing us a disservice by wanting to see that.
I just want to. I don't know what it look like, but yeah, they play. I mean, shit, man, they was playing. They still out here playing favors and Gobert minutes. So I mean, you know what I'm saying, just for a couple minutes, but. Nah, yeah, that's probably a horrible idea. But just for the last, man, Rudy Gay is not a bad pickup for this team either. Rudy Gay is not a bad pickup for this team either. Like I do think, you know what I'm saying, it's another. Rudy Gay definitely has the best hairline in, you know what I'm saying, the greater Salt Lake City area by far. You know what I'm saying? That thing probably not even close. Probably not even close. It has to be Rudy Gay, bro. Who else?
Oh, Rudy Gay. I'm hearing Gobert in my head. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Rudy Gay, bro.
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay is gonna be a.
It's not Carmelo.
Rudy Gay gonna be a nice, you know what I'm saying, contributor for that second unit. You know what I'm saying, especially I think it's crazy to think about because that's that Spurs team, him and DeMar DeRozan they basically depended on those two guys to be their shot creators. So, you know what I'm saying, like Rudy Gay obviously is on the later part of his career, but you know what I'm saying, I think he can still get you some buckets when he needs to. So, underrated pickup for them. I do think he'll be able to contribute, and I do think that's just another, you know what I'm saying, another tool in that, on their basically that utility belt, for them. And then obviously you got, Gobert, you know what I'm saying, perennial, defensive player of the year. So yeah, man, I think that is a combination for over 52.5 wins in the regular season. But yeah, I think, you know what I'm saying, their problems are definitely going to, you know what I'm saying, plop up in the postseason. Jared Butler, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be interesting to see how quick he gets into the rotation, because I think it's gonna be kind of hard for them. I think it's gonna be kind of hard for them to keep him out of the rotation, because I do think, you know what I'm saying, if he didn't have his health scare before the draft, I think he was obviously going, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
like he probably
he's one. He's
him
he
and
was
Dave.
definitely better. Yeah.
if you watch that Baylor team, man, those were two league ready guards. So I think that's another, what I'm saying, really underrated pickup, and I do think he'll be able to contribute as a rookie for that team. Especially considering the fact that you could play him next to Donovan. If you're staggering him with that second unit, you could play him next to Clarkson on that second unit. So I just think it's a perfect fit for him. And I just think like by the time midseason, rolls up, it's gonna be a lot of people going, how did Jared Butler fall this far? And it's gonna be like, yeah, man, we're gonna point to the health. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
that kid definitely can play. But yeah, man, I think that'll wrap us up. Any final takes about, just the overall, we are at a strong 95 minutes, so since around where we were last time. But yeah, just in terms of the quality of the West this year, what would you say? Or just favorites, and we just had to finish it off with favorites to come out of the West. We just went through all of these teams. If you had to put a bet on who's coming out of the West, who would you? Jared John Q. Butler.
That's dark, bro. That's dark. I think if I had to put a bet on it, I mean,
Paul Pockets, that East episode is out already, bro. Go check that out. We already recorded that one, bro.
yeah,
But yeah,
it's on the
wherever you
YouTube. You
get your
can get it
podcast
away
on the
wherever,
YouTube, it's all
bro.
on there, bro.
Nah, I think what are the odds though? I think, are we just putting on straight bets, or are we looking at the best value? Because it's like, I think that comes into play too. Like, um, I like, if I'm gonna be a homer, like I like the Suns, I like the Nuggets, right? Like these are teams that could do it. I do think at the end of the day, the Lakers find a way to get it done. But if we're going by odds to win the Western Conference, let's see. Got Lakers at plus 195, Warriors at plus 550, Clippers at plus 550, Jazz 650, Suns at plus 850, and Nuggets at plus 1,000. Like plus 850 and plus 1,000 with that talent on those teams, that would be my money to pick. And then if I have to pick a favorite, obviously Lakers are plus 195.
So I think, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Kawhi thing plays out. Because like I said, so, it's something about this Lakers team, it just feels a little, disfitting
Yeah.
and like something about it. I don't know. I don't got a great feeling about the team, but I probably would put my money on them to come out the West. Because I'm a coward. But I also do think, sneaky contenders to come out of the West. I could also see if I had to, if it, depending on the X factor that is Klay Thompson. I do think if Klay can come back and be 75% of Klay Thompson by the time the playoffs roll around, I think I think Golden State might be a tough out for
Sure.
teams. They can be, if I think the pieces are there. They need a couple. They need a Wiseman breakout. They need Draymond to look like, to continue being Draymond. If Moody can contribute, I don't think putting a couple dollars in, they need Steph to play at an MVP level. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially coming around. And I also think, I could see uh Denver being not a bad, a bad bet to possibly get out the West this year. And I think the Suns also would be another team that, it's gonna be a tough out. So I mean, yeah, man, that's gonna wrap us up. Holy Pockets in the chat. Appreciate you again, my G. We're gonna see you next episode, man. We definitely got some more b-ball content coming to you for you guys next week. But yeah, definitely shout out to everybody rocking with us. Except that hating ass nigga that was in the chat earlier today. We don't fuck with you, bro. Raz, take us out of here, bro.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, fuck that guy. I think it's one of those situations where there's no need to hate. You could have just kept scrolling. You came in here with Tim Duncan is better than LeBron James, and I'm never gonna be a person to hate on Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is one of the greatest basketball players to ever
That
do it.
wasn't that's just not what we was talking about today, bro. It's like, bro, we did a whole top 10 episode. Like, bro, like
Yeah,
that's not what we talk about right now. Like, don't in the comments trying to derail the show. Like, nah, man.
yeah. So yeah, first of all, fuck you. But yeah, this has been This has been the Draft Season Podcast. It's your boy Young Raz. We will be back very, very soon. More football, more basketball, more college basketball. We got what y'all need. We will get at y'all. Holla.